Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Zodiac Bandit, and I've had a few weeks to sit and stew about EXU Kaimal and about EXU in general. And I think it is still redeemable. I think there is so much room for improvement, and I think there is plenty of good inside of EXU still. So, what needs to happen? What does Abria need to do? What needs to change? I think there's one thing she could do to make everyone turn around on her, EXU in general, or whatever you have that is totally against it. And that is, she needs to improve on her pacing. That to me is the single biggest thing. She bounced around a lot in EXU Kaimal. She had too many plot armor moments to keep the pacing going, whatever pacing she had in her head. And she had too many things going on at once, which slowed down the pacing even more. And it jumbled up her pacing in a weird sort of direction to keep going back and forth in certain spots and then to move forward and push forward and do whatever in other spots. Her pacing was off and it wasn't consistent. She needs to just railroad the shit out of the story. She needs to push them on one path and go with it. Give them the one option, have a couple of fail safes to if something goes wrong and they go off the rails a tiny bit to get them back on it. And I know that sounds like it's gonna suck. However, if they're only doing 2 episodes, it's kind of like watching a one-shot, but it's a 2-shot. And, most one-shots are very railroaded. Think of all the versus battle royales they've done. They're all kind of railroaded into putting them into fights. Or, Matt railroaded the crap out of Dalen's closet, forcing them to fight instead of being able to talk, and forcing them to specific areas instead of being able to talk or, fight in their own areas. They got forced to fight in certain places. This is what needs to happen for if EXU returns. I'm going to say when EXU returns, because I think it's almost guaranteed. I think they really enjoy it, the players, and I would really hope that they get to have a turnaround and prove everybody wrong that EXU isn't this crappy, lesser version of a D&D game. Now, it'll never be the regular campaign, but it can still be something really good and fun to go back on. However, the thing she needs to do is she needs to stick to the last plot hook she threw at us, the viewers and the players, in EXU Kaimal, which was that Fy'ra Rai's sister is a general of the Nameless Ones, and they need to just be the Crown Keepers versus the Nameless Ones. That needs to be the next EXU story, and that should be the only focus, and have it more or less be focused around Fy'ra Rai. EXU Kaimal should have been more focused around Dorian and Cyrus. That's where the focus should have been. And of course, introducing a new player, you have to give her a bit of focus as well, with Morrigan. So that was fine. However, she tried to give Fy'ra Rai a few things over here, tried to give Dariax a few things over here, tried to give Opal something to do over here. No, it needs to be focused around Fy'ra Rai and her friends backing her up against the Nameless Ones. That's what needs to happen. She needs to just have that group against the Nameless Ones. And that's as much as that needs to happen. She needs to put them against them some way, somehow, and she needs to not have 16 different plots happening. It's not a massive campaign like Matt's. Matt is able to do this in Critical Role because he knows he's going to have 100 episodes to do it with. And eventually he can come back around and do stuff with it. That little kid in EXU Kaimal, never going to show up again. He is pointless, worthless, and will probably never show up again. The little thief. The spa. The Chroma Conclave spa. Worthless. It's never going to show up again. She needs to get the story moving. Get everyone on rails. Get a minecart. Get some rails. Put everyone in that minecart and throw it. And tell them they can't get off it until the ride's over. And that's as simple as that. And she needs to do this for 2 episodes, because I think the 2-episode thing is a good idea for EXU. Maybe not do it back-to-back days, but you get the idea. 2 episodes is good for EXU at a time. And yeah, her pacing was the worst thing. Say what you will about plot armor mechanics. Say what you will about, her weird DM style and her weird like way of letting the players do whatever they like, say what they see sort of style. Say what you want about that. It is her pacing that needs to be changed the most. It needs to be fixed, corrected, and with 2 episodes, you really don't have all that much leg room to do whatever you want with. That being said, I think the last plot hook she threw at us, Fy'ra's sister being a nameless one, is a good enough plot to be put on a rail and thrown for it. She needs to just follow that rail, get on the track, and go. Don't get off it. If they go off it a little bit, that's fine, just correct course and put them back on it. She can't get too far distracted with a million plot hooks. It's never going to work unless they have 100 episodes to fuck around with. So yeah, that's what I think needs to be fixed. That's how I think Abria can fix it. And another thing, the way to fix it is to not change Abria as the DM. I've seen that a few times as the how to fix sort of thing. I think Abria can be a very good DM. There were moments in EXU Kymel and the original 8 episodes of EXU where she was fantastic. She was able to, in certain moments, pull me in and keep me there, locked, until some sort of pacing broke it. But there were fantastic moments sprinkled throughout almost every episode. All 10 episodes of Critical Role EXU, I have thought she's had amazing moments in there where I'm like, damn, if she just did that the whole time, you would be so engrossed in what you're watching. And it's a shame that she doesn't do it. So, if she fixed her pacing and focused on more moments like that, the ones that pull me in, I think we could have a very fun, every once in a while game to return back to on Critical Role. Otherwise, people are just going to keep asking to just watch Critical Role. And, we don't have an occasional one-shot instead of having a completely different cast doing their own thing over here every once in a while. They'll just be like, no, I want the regular cast and a handful of other people sprinkled in for one-shots. Which I don't necessarily... I'm not against that idea, but I would love to see this game continue or at least finish. Because it's not finished right now. I think Opal has an amazing story. Dariax, we haven't even touched Dariax's story yet, which is a fucking shame because Matt is the DM for 99.999% of his time playing D&D, and I would love for him to be able to have a story for him. So, with that all being said, that is how I think Abria can fix the perception of EXU. Hopefully? Maybe? She probably won't listen. I don't think any of them are going to listen. But I'm so incredibly hopeful because I enjoyed the first 8 episodes of EXU. And there were moments in the 2 Kymel episodes that I enjoyed as well, where she brought me in, put me in my seat, and said, fucking listen to me. And she did it a few times, and it sucks that there wasn't more of that. So, really, really hopeful that she can do that from here on out. Anyway, see you guys Friday. Peace.